channel. So today we'll be watching iDubbbz's documentary. It was on Sam Hyde. I know nothing about Sam Hyde. I've never heard about him before. He's some sort of like controversial figure. Sam Hyde also filmed footage alongside iDubbbz filming footage. I don't know what he was trying to do, like fuck with iDubbbz or make it funny or something, I'm not too sure. Yeah, iDubbbz never put out his footage. Apparently it was 8 months ago, and Sam Hyde released his version of footage. I watched a bit of that. So yeah, the documentary is about Sam Hyde. It's called Getting Away With It. I'm not going to react to the whole video. I mean, I'll react to the whole video, but I'm going to cut it up for you guys and there'll be a link in the description, blah blah blah. Okay, alright, let's go.
Hey, it's me, Tyler. I just got my bowl cut, and I'm really excited about my new bowl cut.
A lot of people think I'm crazy, but what they don't know is that this authentic ethnic head wrap enables me to move, shuck and jive, and groove like an ethnic person. For the sake of argument, you come at me in a public situation, and I have to shoot through a crowd of people to defend myself. Self-defense situation? Bitch, I'm in jail.
They've made him into a meme, which basically means the trolls own him now.
A hoax that makes the rounds just about every time there's a mass shooting in the U.S. The gunman was a man named Sam Hyde.
Many folks posting this photo of a blonde man holding a gun.
Adult Swim has decided to part ways with $1 Million Extreme, an alt-right affiliated show.
Messages of hate, misogyny,
Look at Young Turks.
anti-Semitism.
You're being such a pussy right now.
This man is named Sam Hyde.
Sam Hyde has been misattributed as the gunman.
So if he's not the shooter, who is Sam Hyde?
Yeah, I've never heard about him before. I'm actually keen to know, like, what time was this? What era? It was clearly on TV.
What, do you have a list of questions?
Yeah,
What?
you can't see them.
You better not surprise me with anything.
You're gonna get hella surprised.
You better not. What are you gonna do, iDubbbz? I want to see the question. Go ahead. So,
And what is your career? What is your job?
interesting question.
Back in March, we went to Rhode Island to film a documentary with Sam Hyde, who's known for his comedy videos.
You can do a lot of damage.
I've been aware of Sam and his comedy for a long time, so I thought it'd be interesting to get to know more about Sam, because not many people know much about him. He's a bit mysterious.
I have a car, but the battery's dead, so my grandfather's like fixing it up and everything.
Okay.
So,
What's up?
so I got the car. I have 3 of them.
Yeah.
Because I've obviously seen some of Sam's video. You can just see that little smirk on his face.
Okay. What's up?
So I got the car.
Hey guys.
What's up, buddy?
What the fuck?
Welcome. What's up, buddy?
So when we got into Sam's
Is that like the fucking worst Kanye West song?
So I was a bit, I think, confused and put off by there being so many people in this room. I just didn't know what their role in anything was.
So yeah, this is
What does he do? What does he make?
this is the we call it the master station.
Yeah.
But this is where we get it done.
Yeah.
You guys aren't doing this every day, though.
every
It
day.
doesn't look like this all the time. This is a show, right?
What do you mean? The mess?
Well, no, just all the people, all framed. Like, what are you working on?
Josh is
I'm a writer. I'm the narrative director.
But these guys are full time as Joey. Let's get some fresh air. I gotta go. Let's go get. My mechanic has to teach me how to top off my oil because I don't know how. It has a
What?
thing that I've never seen before.
You're okay with going in the trunk?
Bingo.
Kind of loud.
I would never go past like 80%
on public roads. Like an anime reference, 80%.
You never have anxiety.
Yeah.
If you have anxiety, you're dead. Next thing you know, you're dead. If you ever get anxiety, next thing that happens, you fucking die.
Does your dad use the word anxiety?
No, my dad gives, the advice that he gives comes after long reflections on alcoholism, and it's usually very depressing. He probably has, not manic depression, but like cyclomania, like mild manic depression. He gets little manias and he gets depressed phases.
You say you're a lot like your dad?
Chemically and biologically, yes, but I've thankfully been able to overcome a lot of his problems. Probably because he was so open about them when I was a kid. Like, I've never had alcohol, I've never been drunk.
I think it might help for the viewers. When you say something like that, if you're serious, you say,
why would he not be serious? I don't get it.
100% serious.
100% serious. How about this? No, I'll say this. I'll say, baby, Sammy's serious.
There has been times where I can't tell, you know? It's like when you've talked about women a lot of the time.
Beating women!
What a bitch will do to you once she gets her claws in.
I want this, I need this.
You're gonna be the prettiest princess astronaut as soon as you grow a fucking brain!
I don't know. I get that it's maybe like taboo. It's not really taboo, it's like, I guess, edgy humor. But these examples he's shown here, I feel like it's pretty obviously a joke. So I don't have a lot of like great evidence to support sort of this iDubbbz narrative right now. Because he's trying to say Sam's this really big troll or something and you can't tell if he's serious or not. Or whether he means the jokes he says, or whether or not he can even understand the jokes. I'm not quite convinced on what iDubbbz's narrative is, because all these examples he's shown me, or even Sam's demeanour thus far, it seems pretty clear-cut when he's joking and when he's not. Like, these examples about Sam talking about women seem to me to obviously be jokes, and like super facetious. Look at the guy's face right now. Like, so I don't really understand what iDubbbz is trying to convey, or maybe I just haven't seen good examples. I feel like there should be some really strong examples at the start. I should be on iDubbbz's side, but right now I'm sort of just like questioning why iDubbbz is talking about this stuff or bringing it up. Because when I see Sam, he's just been really funny and really obvious when he's joking or when he's being serious. Like when he mentioned his dad and alcoholism and how he taught him lessons in that. That's obviously a truthful statement, and then iDubbbz is like questioning whether or not he believes it. So I don't really understand. I'm not really on iDubbbz's wavelength right now, I suppose. So, because I guess iDubbbz is asking these questions from his perspective, like I'm having trouble understanding whether you're being serious or not, but I don't really get that. But at the same time, this is iDubbbz's documentary, so I should be pretty convinced of iDubbbz's point and sort of understand where he's coming from, but I don't.
As if when you say that someone raped you, anyone's gonna believe you, you dumb bitch. Fuck off.
Wait, but this setup reminds me of that video iDubbbz was in with like Max Mofo.
I like my women like I like my coffee. Flat and white. Got him. Am I right, boys? Got him. I call it a cleansing. There's nothing wrong with the cleansing if it's for the greater good.
Me likey.
Me likey. Me like.
Me likey a lot.
And they're all wearing tuxedos and they're making these really outlandish jokes. And I guess it's probably more over the top, I suppose, but it's a similar sort of even setup, kind of. How it's like just the setting alone sort of puts you in the place of, okay, this is all a joke, because look at the fuck what he's wearing. I mean, this looks like a skit, so why would you take it seriously? But, and I guess there's levels to the satire, irony of it. I don't know, this is, interesting.
Mostly serious, yeah. Because I'm not misogynistic, I don't like hate women, and there are women that I value like very highly and I think are amazing. But women are like super dangerous. 3 ways that you're really super fucked up. 1 is women. 2 is with being a bad driver. 3 is with going college, like making life decisions based on somebody else's expectations and not like what's best for you. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna guess you're single right now.
No, I got a girl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
Day one, I was obviously on edge. Sam is a very unpredictable person, but I started to notice that he has patterns. The way he talks about things, he'll say something.
Why is he so on edge? I don't understand. What's the problem? Because even going there without knowing much about Sam, you'd think he'd be more like interested or, you know. But he's like, oh, I'm scared. Like I don't understand where that's coming from. Because like I said, all the examples he's shown me, they're just skits, or he's making an obvious joke. So I don't understand.
What's Laotian? Laos is only one of the greatest countries in the world, and they have great taste, which is why the Laotians put this diamond pattern on here.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, though.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Sam's comedy seems to be rooted in him trying to rile people up.
Lena Dunham, you made threats against me, so now if I see you in person, I'm gonna be afraid for my safety. I'm gonna have to protect my life. In public, when I see you, Lena Dunham, I'm gonna knock your fucking head off. Just like that, bitch.
It seems like he says things that are either taboo or just kind of edgy.
Yeah, you know what, sweetie? You're gonna be an astronaut. Like a fucking retarded bitch dyke could ever do that.
Like... Okay, so that's... Obviously it's offensive and over the top, but it's also obviously a joke. So I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand. I just keep saying these things and showing these examples, and I don't understand what he's trying to say. I'm starting to get worried, because now I'm starting to, like, as I'm watching this, I'm starting to worry, like, is this like a political thing? I don't understand what the fuck he's talking about.
There have been many infamous Sam Hyde moments where he tries to harass or get the attention of people like Ethan Klein or Lena Dunham.
I just got off text with Ethan from H3H3, and he said he was gonna put up $5,000 because, you know, he like took some of my...
He would instantly forget every piece of jiu-jitsu knowledge. Joe, you would know as much jiu-jitsu as Marcella May Rogan after I hit you. You'd be goo-goo gaga mode, okay? You'd be looking for some Pampers. The list of things I wouldn't do to Joe in a fight.
He's literally laughing as he's giving these lines, so I don't understand what I don't...
I wouldn't take no for an answer. Call me Joe.
I'm assuming it's all just for exposure, or he's trying to...
Also, it's not particularly that funny either. So I don't understand what the big deal is with this guy and why this is so important.
It's probably some kind of self-awareness that Sam has, where he realizes that in front of a camera, he needs to bring his brand of comedy out.
This thing rips ass.
But because so much of Sam defaults to sarcasm and irony, it was really hard to know if I was getting genuine responses to the serious questions I was asking.
And you don't get annoyed or bothered by the noise, you like it?
Of the car?
Yeah.
It's really annoying.
Okay.
Was that a serious question though? Is you get annoyed by how loud your car is? Is that like a super serious question?
But you put up with it because there's other benefits.
Well, what do you want me to do? Freak out and start screaming? I can stop putting up with it. Like a retard?
I guess
It's fine. I'd probably rather be in a rental Corolla right now. It would be more comfortable.
Okay. Are you supposed to wear a mask at the drive-thru here?
No, you just put your shirt over your face.
Do you do that?
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? As opposed to what, putting a fucking mask on?
Yeah, it's a little cringe, don't you think?
What, covering your face with a t-shirt?
Yeah.
You think putting a mask on is less cringe than covering
Yeah.
your face with a t-shirt?
Yeah.
Dude. You gotta get out of California.
I don't really give a shit if you put a fucking t-shirt over your face or a mask. Who gives a fuck? Like, I'm not pro-vaccination or anti-vax. I really don't care. People can make their own decisions. If everyone's vaxxed, or the people that want to be vaxxed get vaxxed, then good for them. And I don't really think COVID's ever going to go away unless you start blocking flights from other countries. You know, you get COVID cases, go into lockdown. Oh, COVID's gone, open everything up. Oh, we've got COVID cases again. You can't really do anything about it in the long run. So I don't really care, I'm not really pro or anti. I mean, I got fucking Bell's palsy after my first dose and had half my face paralysed for like a month, so I don't really care, it's up to the individual.
My own private harem, and they exist to serve. Take the mask off, Jesus Christ.
Why is he wearing them? They're not even at the window. Yeah, I mean, he's on camera, I guess.
They exist to serve me.
He doesn't like the masks. You know, if I was gonna have a hard time breaking through Sam's comedy wall, I knew that Danny would be the solution to that.
How long have you been together?
Like 2.5 years, 2 years.
Okay. She could give me honest, truthful answers to how Sam really is and all the other questions that I had. At least that's what I hoped would happen.
This feeling that you're getting, it's like just added responsibility essentially about worrying about another person?
No, we mean why it feels horrible?
Yeah.
No, it's just like a fucking mess.
Oh. Have you considered going to therapy?
For myself?
For you, I mean, you could contribute to her being a mess.
What do I need therapy for? I could contribute to her being a mess? Are you kidding me?
Jesus!
No.
Holy fuck, who says that? What the fuck? What the fuck was that? You just... Jesus Christ. Who the fuck says that? Holy shit. What the fuck? I can't believe you said that.
And how you interpret things.
No.
It's contributing to her being a mess, sure.
Well, we'll see.
It's part of the
How about this?
flywheel
How about
of,
this?
like,
You could be the counselor when we meet her.
Okay.
You look anemic. But
Anemic?
yeah, a little bit. We look alike though. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think we
Let
do
me see
look
the
alike.
hat.
Yo,
Let me see the hat.
what
I wanna
Joey's
see-
working on? It's
I thought you were bald.
No.
what?
She an art student or something?
It's so fucking big.
I got a large cranium.
It's weird.
It's part of my genes.
Maybe you just have like a really large skull. I don't know. Have you like weighed your head?
I have not weighed my head, no.
Oh, well, I haven't like weighed my head without the fluid in it in like a while, but yeah.
The fuck?
Weird. The whole environment was weird. But when it came to Danny, it was just sad.
Okay, so yeah, if you just like stop smoking, your blood pressure goes like all the way down. Can't you like give a hug, you know? Like blood just stops flowing and you fucking die.
I really didn't know how to feel. I would say that the rest of the guys made me medium level uncomfortable. Danny made me extremely uncomfortable.
I have more. You want to see my tattoos? I feel like a dog sitting on the floor.
At that point,
Jesus.
I feel irresponsible just like talking to her. It felt like we need to get her help or something.
Some paper towels. My mom always told me to keep my head back, but like that shit doesn't work. So I'm 21, freelance graphic designer.
That would be so funny. Among Us mukbang. A red is sus.
I saw a lot of people.
Okay, so this is just all part of this fucking skit they're doing, I guess.
Among Us stuff, I think a lot of people are doing that, though.
I am Jed Neptune. That is my name.
Yeah.
What did you buy?
This Chinese commie fucking coin. It was pretty sick. It's illegal to buy it. Can you edit this out?
I'm into Cardano.
We're going to do some kind of fitness related thing. I think it might involve boxing.
It's gonna look so cool on you.
Day one was very rough with Sam, changing the oil in his car, going to Chick-fil-A, meeting his team of like 10 plus people, and boxing.
Listen, I got it too loud.
Jesus.
You have the wind knocked out.
Jesus, fucked.
No, Sam was doing a bit of a gag, you know, to have everyone there, sort of chanting things as like a very exciting way to sort of start the documentary.
Think it, dream it, do it. Think.
Yeah, he's kind of clowned on iDubbbz a bit. Maybe he like figured iDubbbz is gonna make fun of him, So you thought, oh, well, I'll film it, we'll mess with him, and then if he puts out a doco making fun of me, we'll release our version and make fun of him. And maybe that's why iDubbbz didn't put this out.
Dream it, you can do it.
Around 2008, Sam started regularly uploading comedy videos, predominantly featuring himself.
Oh, fuck. So, halfway through, finally, you gotta tell me what the fuck this guy even does.
You know,
Okay.
Sam gets to be the leader of the cult.
If you can think it, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Around 2008, Sam started regularly uploading comedy videos, predominantly featuring himself, alongside his friends Nick Rochefort and Charles Carroll, a comedy troupe called...
What's the one problem right now that's not going to be around in 2070? The elderly and the disabled. Because we're just gonna kill them.
The videos gained a large cult following on YouTube. The comedy style clearly pulled inspiration from absurdist Adult Swim shows like Tim and Eric Awesome Show. So naturally, after MDE had established a following online, Adult Swim picked them up to create a cable television show, $1 Million Extreme presents World Peace.
You're gonna be famous. Oh my god.
Why are you up there?
I'm being a monkey.
World Peace was exactly the type of thing you'd expect to see on Adult Swim. And the show was pretty good.
Take a bite. It's clean. I'm full. I'm so full.
But good things, especially good things as divisive as MDE, aren't meant to last.
Shoes
And World
off.
Peace lasted about halfway through its first season before it started to get heavily criticized by the media.
For such a big sound coming out of such a small person, it's so crazy.
Former Adult Swim collaborators such as Brett Gelman and Tim Heidecker took public stances against the show, and after a heated interview with BuzzFeed writer Joe Burns,
The alt-right has its very own TV show on Adult Swim. Once again, I haven't seen any examples of that. Ooh. August 25th, 2016. That lines up. Almost every way quintessential alt-right Twitter user, he supports Donald Trump.
the media smearing became too much for Time Warner to handle, and World Peace was canceled.
Adult Swim has decided to part ways.
The Young Turks. Jesus. Yeah, none of it seems like it's alt-right.
Sam and many of his accomplices were blacklisted from Hollywood, the MDE fan base was devastated, and Sam quickly returned back to his internet roots as a solo, self-sustained entertainer. World Peace was a show that pushed a lot of boundaries that are typically not pushed by television shows.
I mean, maybe he can't show the worst examples because it's on YouTube, but it seems like it was cancelled politically, and nothing I've seen is very alt-right or anything, so I don't know.
Things about with a bit of racial unity, because I like to bring it together and talk about racial unity. Okay, if there was one race, one job-having, bill-paying race of people that's going to save humanity, what race would it be? No, ladies and gentlemen, it's the white race. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I need to fuck really bad. I need to come really bad. So just meet me in the unisex bathroom. Thank you.
What?
I mean, he's making himself look like a retard, though. Like, if you were in the crowd and you were like, yeah, he's right, you'd look fucking just as retarded as he is looking on stage. These examples suck dick.
I said, guess what, bitch? There's only two genders.
Sam's been doing Hide Wars, which is just like a show where he rants about, whatever topic I think interests him at the time.
Talked to a dude who had one of these perfect waifus. Those chicks have a gasket loose, universally.
He also does a podcast-style show where he brings
Start doing shit that turns you into someone that you like. Martial arts, and by martial arts I mean jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai, and lifting weights will do that.
Sam's recently taken on more of a self-help role for his fan base, sort of giving life advice or career advice to people in his audience. But a lot of the iffy stuff that he says, it's really hard to write off as jokes because he's never really been shy about aligning himself with the alt-right.
They do want to destroy whiteness. If you're going to one of these things to help them destroy whiteness, be ready to be destroyed.
He's donated around $5,000.
destroy whiteness. If you're going to one of these things to help them destroy whiteness, be ready to be destroyed.
He's donated around $5,000 to the Daily Stormer, which is a neo-Nazi.
When contacted for comment, Hyde also reported if he was Jewish and then boasted that $5,000 was nothing to him. Don't worry so much about money, worry about if people start deciding to kill reporters. For reasons why, you can say I want reporters to know I make more money than them, especially Matt Pierce. Jesus. Okay, so he's a bit unhinged. So you should have started with that, really. Because he isn't exactly giving him any examples.
Nazi website, and you don't really do that as a joke, from what I understand about the world. So with the context that Sam openly aligns himself with the alt-right and white supremacy and misogynistic stuff, it's hard to write off any of the ironic stuff as just ironic.
You're inheriting the earth along with some other undesirables, and that's cool, bro.
High personal level. A lot of people probably refer to irony as having metaphorical layers, but irony exists in a circle. This is the circle of irony. At the top of the circle of irony, you have sincerity. You can't have any amount of irony without some sincerity behind it. Here's an example of a sincere thought. I don't like eating shit. People who are not being ironic say sincere things like that all the time. You might say that it's the default way to say things. The next rung on the circle of irony is just called irony. You might be familiar with this from English class, and it basically means that you kind of feel the opposite of what is being expressed. And it's basically just sarcasm. Oh yeah, I love eating shit. Great, people think I love eating shit now. Isn't that just perfect? This is the go-to boomer humor that old people thrive off of. They love sarcasm. It is a basic level of irony to the point where it's almost irrelevant to millennials and zoomers. After irony, we have post-irony. This is where you say something in a way that makes it sound like you don't mean it when you actually do mean it. In other words, you're using...
Why is this in a circle, though? Because this isn't like an order or a flow. I don't understand why. Is sincerity before irony, and then irony is before post-irony, but it's the circle of irony? I don't understand why it's a circle, and I don't understand why it's going in a flow. These feel like they should be like different rungs or something, like a category, like it should be irony and then branching, sincerity, branching, irony, branching. I don't understand why it's a circle. Like, and why there's arrows, why does it flow? This seems...
irony to make a joke about how you're joking. Oh, I don't like eating shit. Oh, me? Oh, no, I don't like eating shit. I hate that. I don't like eating shit. I don't like eating delicious, creamy shit. Stop saying that about me. If you put a pile of shit in front of me, I wouldn't devour it.
Why? I don't understand. Why is he explaining what irony is? This is almost like what Sam Hyde said about being fucking autistic. Doesn't everyone already know this?
Like an animal, instantly. I wouldn't be doing that. This is probably the most popular form of irony in the modern generation. They're basically parodies of memes. So you have to already know what irony is to appreciate or begin to appreciate post-ironic humor. And look, there's no more room on the circle, so we must be done.
Well, it's kind of arbitrary though, like why would there be more room? Why isn't there room? Why the fuck is it a circle in the first place? I don't understand. Oh yeah, because it's really weird, because it's like it's the layers of the complexity of irony, where there's irony, post-irony, but then sincerity is also on the same one, but sincerity doesn't fit in with irony or post-irony, but it's part of it, but it's a flow, but it's a circle. It's fucking none of this makes any sense. I'm so confused. I mean, I understand the individual examples of like post-irony and irony, and there's sincerity in these things, and that makes sense. The individual descriptions make sense. The diagram makes no fucking sense.
Meta-irony is where this gets fucked. This is where you're saying something sincere, but the context could imply that you're saying it ironically, yet the thing that you're saying is actually a sincere thought. If this doesn't make sense, that's because it doesn't make any sense. It's meant to confuse you. Meta-irony is placed intentionally in this circle in a way that doesn't make any sense because it...
Is the circle diagram also meta-irony? Because it makes no fucking sense? Is that the bit?
Is intertwined with sincerity. No, I don't like eating shit. No, I don't like eating shit. Unless. But do I like eating shit? You don't know, do you? The fact that I brought it up in the first place is a little bit suspicious, but the concept of eating shit is so ridiculous that I have to be serious when I say I don't want to. Right?
I don't understand how you greatly differentiate that from irony itself. Is he inventing this term to be like, ooh, I can't make fun of Sam Hyde or criticize Sam Hyde for being ironic, because then people are going to look at me like an asshole. So I'm going to do this super social liberal take, and I'm just going to slap a label on it and separate it. Like, oh no, irony's fine. What he's doing is meta-irony. Cancel that man. Arbitrary title, even though it's the exact same thing. And then separate people depending on how much you like them or how much you don't like them or their jokes. I don't know, seems a bit sussy-gussy.
Meta-irony is used effectively by people whose intention is to blur the line between sincerity and jokes. It creates a situation where in order for there to be a prerequisite of sincerity, I have to obtain the knowledge outside of the joke. You're basically just saying the consumption of shit is something that is physically possible. Isn't that interesting? I'm retarded.
So I guess basically that would be like a friend group, right? Like you might say offensive jokes around your friends. That might be meta-ironic by this example, but they would understand that you're being ironic because they're friends with you and they know you on a personal level, I suppose. Yeah, but then I guess I can also see the appeal of someone or a cancelled comedian saying, well, you don't know me on a personal level, so you're not in the joke, and fuck you if you get it or not. But then also there might be some truth behind Sam being a bit tipped too far on the scale, I suppose.
But if you're not saying anything about something when you say it, why do you even say it? People don't tend to do things for no reason.
Because it's funny? Yeah, what does he say? I don't agree with what he said.
You're just bad at irony, or you're just being sincere.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. How can you say it's bad at irony unless you would conclude that all of his fans or supporters are alt-right or believe in those things as well? They're obviously in on the joke, so the irony can't be bad, because his jokes aren't really that funny anyway. So that is the whole point of why it's funny. And that's sort of like the whole 4chan appeal back in the day. It's like everyone is in on the joke, and obviously there's going to be people drawn to that are actually that. You know, they have to watch something. They're out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, of course they're going to watch that. But like, what do they get out of it? It's entertaining for them because they take it seriously. I highly doubt it's the majority. I don't know.
This is why it's so difficult to be around Sam. Try to understand him and ultimately make a documentary about him. He lives here. Sam is drenched in meta-irony constantly. He intentionally doesn't make it obvious when he is or isn't joking.
I feel like every time I've seen Sam, I feel like I've known when he was joking and when he wasn't.
About something. Why he does this is up for interpretation, I guess, but after seeing how much he appears to involve himself in political ideologies, it seems he prefers to use meta-irony as a shield. To say...
Well, I mean, that could be part of it, and that's his type of humour, but they're still jokes. He hasn't said anything that was like, oh my god. Obviously, it depends on the crowd, depends on the audience. You know, fucking Bill Burr does a show when the crowd goes, ooh, when he says fucking nothing.
As a shield. To say, I was just joking, is a legitimate way to exonerate yourself in moments of actual miscommunication.
Yeah, but he's obviously joking.
But it's also a perfect fallback option for when you receive criticism for a point that you're genuinely trying to make. I think eating shit is awesome. What the fuck? You like eating shit? I was just kidding. Are you stupid or something? Well, now I feel bad for being unaware of any irony going on, so in the future...
I mean, that could be true, but it's like under the presupposition that this guy actually is all these things you claim he is and no one really knows, right? Because now you're taking like everything away from him. Like now every joke he says he's being 100% serious. There's just not enough here to overanalyze it to this extreme, I feel like.
Future, I will not criticize you for anything you say. I am now invulnerable to criticism.
He's clearly hasn't been.
Why did you choose to make a documentary about me?
Well, I'm gonna flip that question on.
I think Sam Hyde knows he's getting a stitch-up piece, I think. And I'm generally curious how much this has altered because of Sam's version. Because, I mean, Sam clearly knows or is onto something now, right? When iDubbbz brought up if he did that to his girlfriend or something. Like, you know this guy's coming in to be like, oh, you're fucking Satan's spawn. Like, you don't really say that to a person unless you have a pretty poor preconceived notion of them.
On you and say...
You can't flip the... I just flipped the question on you.
No,
You
that's
can't-
not how this works. I'm interviewing you.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is the craziest interview I've ever conducted.
Yeah, this is not going to be like an ordinary interview.
All right, go ahead.
Do you remember our first interaction?
No.
You don't?
No. I have very bad memory, though.
Yeah.
Was it bad?
What do you think?
Did I snub you or slight you or something?
What
What did I do?
Your memory's that bad?
Yes.
You don't remember?
I do not remember.
Okay.
What did I do?
Your memory's that bad?
Yes.
You don't remember?
I do not remember.
Okay. Do you remember...
What was it?
You remember making a pony game?
Yes.
There were some creators at the time who made videos about this fake pony project.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you one of them?
I was one of them.
What did I do?
Do you have any guesses?
Did I say fuck you or something?
No, you copyright claimed the video.
Really?
Yes. And then you sent me an email.
I mean, I don't do most copyright claims. What was the email?
The email was, I will release the copyright claim on your video if you can send me a video of yourself squatting 200 pounds below parallel.
Why didn't you do that? You'd be so much stronger now if you'd done that.
Yeah.
Damn. Did I create an enemy with that?
I mean, for a period.
Damn,
I didn't
sorry,
like
buddy.
you.
I'm sorry.
You were an asshole.
Jesus.
Sorry, buddy. That's no good.
Yeah. Why'd you do that to me?
I don't know. I can't even remember what your video was. So maybe I was pissed off or something. I don't know. I was trying to not have that ruse get blown though.
Right.
So maybe that had something to do with it.
Probably did.
I'm sorry. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what led to this day today.
Really? Okay. So are you gonna punk me?
You're getting punked.
Really? How are you gonna punk me?
I'm gonna make you look like an asshole.
Really?
Which isn't hard to do.
Is that really the case?
No.
Okay.
Part of me feels.
Yeah, I don't think you needed to fucking have a cut in of him pointing to meta irony. I kind of got that he was joking, and then he admitted 2 seconds later he was joking, so I don't know why he stuck that in. Does he want every creator to do that? Have a little annotation in the corner that pops up? Meta irony. I don't fucking understand. Which isn't meta irony, it's just, I don't know, it's...
Feels like you might be being disingenuous by saying you don't remember.
I legit don't remember. 100% serious.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because you're doing so much that you just sort of forget all the bridges you burn and all the people you fuck with?
Did I burn a bridge with that?
I could have been, but I'm a resilient person, so I turned that hate into a passion for filmmaking.
Is he going to point to meta irony again or something?
Which is why I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you still angry with me?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Do you dislike me still?
No, I think there's some things about you that I just want to understand better.
Yeah.
Mostly to do with your comedy.
Mm-hmm.
This is interesting. Because now I am, like, curious. Like, because why didn't this come out? Like, this footage was so fucking funny. Like, why didn't this come out? Is what I don't understand. Because I'm starting to think now that maybe he was trying to make a hit piece. Sam maybe saw it coming, filmed his own thing, sort of made fun of iDubbbz, maybe kept it as insurance, so if iDubbbz puts his one out and super shits on him, he drops his one, makes fun of iDubbbz. Maybe iDubbbz didn't want that, so he just put it aside, maybe. I don't know, this is weird. Because who knows, maybe iDubbbz did hold a grudge. Because iDubbbz, he still goes on about fucking rice gum, and that shit was years ago. And iDubbbz fucking clowned rice gum. Pretty much made him retire. iDubbbz is still trying to challenge rice gum to a boxing match. But then maybe the boxing match was for the end of this video? Because they have boxing in here, Sam's telling him to lift weights. Maybe at the end iDubbbz was going to do this boxing fight thing with rice gum and hopefully other creators and try to make it meta-ironic or something. Maybe. And that's why it took so long.
I have a list of questions that I can get into.
Sure.
All right. So before we get into the shit, let's get a synopsis.
What's the shit?
I'll get into it. I'll get into it.
No, because this is ominous.
Is it making you nervous?
Yeah. No, I want to know what the shit. Because this is very strange. It feels like you're trying to punk me or something.
I'm not punking you. It's just questions that that me and.
I mean, he's obviously super sus on iDubbbz for good reason, right?
A lot of other people that I've talked to have about you. Like, what makes you sort of a...
Is that what the shit is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Let's start off with what content are you most proud of that you've created?
I don't like the order this is going in, because you're
And just to be clear, just so it's not like to relieve the any sort of pressure you might be feeling.
Don't relieve the pressure.
No?
Keep it on.
Okay.
Let's save it. Let's keep it in there.
Yeah, the video is not meant to be a hit piece. I didn't set out to do that. I was like, no one's made like a documentary, or at least a good documentary about MDE or Sam Hyde. So, like, this is a great opportunity. So, of course, I'm gonna rack my autistic brain to figure out, okay, what things do Sam and I have in common? Well, we interacted however many years ago. Maybe that's something I could bring up in the interview.
I figured out what it's not nervousness.
To be fair, iDubbbz has come across a little bit autistic in this. Like, a little Asperger's-y. A little bit of Asperger's.
About being punked. I wish you had been upfront about that. Because I honestly don't like when I have, like, static with people. I wish you just told me, like, just hit me up at the beginning and be like, hey, there's this thing.
No, but I thought it would be really good here.
Okay.
For it to be a reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have anything else to connect.
I just hope that you're not actually, like, if you actually were upset about that, I would want to, like, heal that.
Right. No, not at all.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You should have just told me, man, I'm sorry. There's water here.
No, it's all good, man. I
don't like having static with people that I actually like.
I don't think Sam realizes how much I don't care about our first interaction. It was like a little bit annoying for me at the time because I've never dealt with like a copyright claim. It was my first experience interacting with Sam. It's an interesting thing to bring up, but it wasn't meant to be like a surprise. You're pranked. It's more like, hey, here's an interesting bit of info that you didn't know about. A lot of your comedy is like shocking, but I think the areas I struggle with, and I think a lot of people who want to enjoy your content kind of struggle with, is they don't feel like they have permission to laugh at certain things because you haven't given them like enough context at the beginning to indicate like, oh, this is all just like a gag that I'm doing. Or
I don't say it that way. I feel like it's pretty obviously a gag. Every example I've seen. And it obviously is a joke because it's so outlandish. Well, there are obviously like tells as well, like he does a stupid face or he says it in a certain way. Or he's on set in a skit.
Is it valid for me to just not care about that?
Yes. And it can still be funny.
Like, do I have to be like scrutinizing my words and be like, oh, maybe I could get more views if I really explained what I meant when I said cum dumpster? Like, can I not give a fuck about that at all?
I mean, obviously you can.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be flippant or like dismissive of your question. It's just no, it's not something I think about.
Okay. No, that's fair. I mean, yeah. I don't want you to drum up a thing if you legitimately haven't thought of it.
Yeah.
Is it something that you think you should think about?
No. It's not.
Yeah, I think Sam's worried now because he knows he's getting punked. Or he's worried that he's going to get punked. Because iDubbbz has such a huge audience. I feel like he made preparations beforehand to where, oh, it can be a funny skit, or we can make it so we fucking clowned on iDubbbz, depending on what happens with this doco. And I think as it went on, he was sort of getting the vibe of, iDubbbz thinks I did this to my girlfriend, fucking... Okay, well, here's a motive that iDubbbz has established, that he fucked him over in the past. And now the vein of these questions is very much like, uh-oh. So I think now Sam's probably just like, it's now been confirmed in his mind, like, oh, I'm getting fucked over. Which, to be fair, he isn't in this documentary. I mean, iDubbbz, he's not being neutral. He's not being unbiased, which is weird, because I think that he said that he was trying to make an unbiased documentary, which it's not. But it's very tame at the same time, so it's not biased in the way of it's like, oh, you alt-right piece of shit. But it's still biased, it's just, you need permission to laugh? I don't know, it's weird.
I'm curious about your relationship with Danny. Has she been on drugs since she met you?
She's been on drugs since before she met me. So if you're...
Since she met you?
She's been on drugs since...
Even the way he... Like, did he write that question down? Why would you word it like that? Has she been on drugs since she met you? Like, that's so fucked. There's so many ways to ask that question. That's like the worst way you could phrase that question if you're trying to come across like, oh, I'm worried about Danny. It's like such an...
Since before she met me. So if you're implying that I've driven her to drug use, you are incorrect.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's what
Jesus, why is he doing this? He's like... It's weird. He's like... iDubbbz is like deliberately making it awkward. But then every time Sam brings up something, he's like, oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. No. Is this like the second or third time he's implied that fucking Sam let his girlfriend to drug use? Okay. That was like the only thing that was sort of like, oh, you know, just in terms of what Sam's personal life could be like. And now that's not even on the table anymore. Damn.
So you're punking me.
I'm not punking you. I'm trying to make a... I thought it'd be funny for your fans. I thought they'd like it.
Hey, he thought it'd be funny, but he also could punk you if you fucked him over.
The whole thing?
I would never do anything actually hurt you or upset you or make you look foolish. I would not do that.
So,
unless you fucked him over, then he would have. Yeah, I learned nothing about Sam. I don't even know how old he is. Or where he was born or anything. Stuff that probably could have been in here.
Sam didn't show up to shoot guns with us for like 2 hours, and then when he finally showed up, he was very distant. I wanted to talk to you again, one-on-one.
About what?
All sorts of stuff.
Why?
Felt like yesterday was like a bit incomplete. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, iDubbbz didn't ask him about the $5,000 donation, which I think is like the most revealing thing.
We left shortly after that. For the rest of the week, Sam wasn't willing to meet up one-on-one. He kept coming up with different excuses like, you know, he was too busy or that his back hurt. And this continued for the remaining 5 days that I was in Rhode Island. Until eventually he had us meet outside of his real office, which he didn't want on camera, to give me something.
This is a thank you from us to commemorate our experience together. And as a gesture of goodwill, you're gonna want to see this, guys, at home.
Wow, YouTuber Kings.
Yes, man.
Appreciate it.
I mean, but even...
Kind of filter out for Kings.
He's smiling, you know what I mean? But then he says he doesn't get the joke.
Hang it somewhere private. Or you can display it for people and just kind of filter out anyone who doesn't like art.
See, even the filter of people that don't like great art, that's obviously where the irony is, right? Because art is subjective. Right? So it's like obviously like, oh, okay, that's the joke.
I think once Sam had revealed all the gaslighting stuff to me, he figured there wasn't really much of a reason to continue to cooperate because he had provided his entertainment, so why continue?
I don't think that was it. I think he realized during the interview that he might have been getting punked because you gave him like the motivation for the copyright strike, and then you also asked him more questions about, are you the reason his girlfriend's on drugs and shit? So I feel like he's probably... Even like the look on his face, I feel like he was pretty upset. Like that realization of, oh, he is trying to punk me. And now I think that's why he doesn't want to do another interview. I don't think it has anything to do with he's got no more jokes left to say. I mean, that could be part of it, I suppose, but I just think he's like, oh, I'm getting punked. I'm not doing another interview. I'm not going to give him a chance to ask me more fucking questions.
They all spoke very candidly with us. And it would have been nice if Sam gave us a similar level of respect.
We were like, what's the thing we could do to like make the funniest thing?
This idea of confusing people and never being genuine or only being genuine when you think it's obvious.
It's not confusing though, he's a comedian. He's like there to make people laugh. So I don't understand why it has to be confusing. Like, you find him funny or you don't.
For being genuine or only being genuine when you think it's obvious is a great game to play when the most important thing to you is never showing your taint to people. You can feel like a winner in a game that only you are playing.
I would punch Trump. Oh my God.
It's not a game only he's playing though. Because there's obviously his friends that are in the joke because they know him. And obviously his fan base that watches him in the most part, I'd say the vast most part, understand where the jokes are.
I would have been more stoked with the prank if he had allowed us to take a candid look at his life afterwards, but he shut us out. I don't know what his day-to-day life...
I don't think he trusted you.
...is really like. I don't know even surface-level details about how he does things or, you know, if he's even in a relationship. It would be...
You should have started with those questions, I think. The questions he started with are way too heavy. You know, you gotta butter him up first.
Interesting to know, but we just don't know. As far as who is Sam and what is he about, it seems like he really likes comedy, even if that means being an asshole to people and not letting his wall down. I don't think that serves to benefit him in any way, but if that's a game that he wants to play, fair enough. All I can continue to do is read between the lines and assume that there's some truth in there somewhere.
It's like most comedians nowadays make fun of, you know, super politically correct people or the Twitter mob, which honestly nowadays is getting a bit lame because it's like every comedian's doing that. But Sam is just like making fun of people that get offended, period. So it is kind of interesting.
Hyde, I'd like to know what message is it you'd like us to take away from that exactly?
I don't know, man. I guess that's up to you. I don't know. Nothing. It's just a bunch of crap.
Do you enjoy owning rare artifacts? Or maybe you enjoy owning things that commemorate a specific video release? Well, I have good news for you. We have this artifact that you can purchase today. It was gonna be difficult to monetize this video any other way, so I really do appreciate your support. It is a good design. The artist really worked hard on it, and it honestly encapsulates the part of the documentary that I enjoy the most, which is the goof Gooftacular kind of elements. And place your order today because we're gonna stop production. The shirt's gonna exist for, I don't know, a month, a couple of months, but then it's just gonna be done after that. So, you know, you snooze, you lose. It also just really helps support future projects. And they're coming. And it won't take a year. It will not take a year for another project to come out.
What is this, Chad Dobbs arc? I think iDubbbz screwed the pooch a little on this one. I think he went a bit too heavy. Then the interview he started with super heavy questions. You know, be nice, play cool. What's your family life? Blah, 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 blah. And then you hit him with the serious questions. I think iDubbbz screwed the pooch a little. But even on the research side of things, you know, I don't really know. I don't know how old Sam is. I don't know if I missed that. I don't know where he was born. Like, if you're going to do a documentary on someone, you would... Because otherwise you might not really give a shit about that sort of stuff, but considering how barren this is of information, you'd think you'd want to be a little more informative, give a bit more context. It was really weird earlier on in the video. Because iDubbbz was giving these hot takes on fucking... Sam says this inappropriate stuff, is it serious? And then the examples he'd give were like obviously jokes. But iDubbbz was also like sort of part of that humor back in the day. So I'm really fucking... It's kind of... I don't know how to feel about this video. I'll say the Sam Hyde parts are obviously great. That's the thing as well, like the footage in this was so good. The cutaway to iDubbbz being like, okay guys, that was a joke. I wasn't serious when I brought up the copyright thing. It seems a little bit like a defense piece almost. I'm curious as to why this didn't come out originally. I don't know, I mean, it was a good video. It was good. It was funny, it was entertaining. It wasn't like a documentary at all, which maybe is why it wasn't going to get released. You know, I think there's a possible few reasons. It's a very strange video, it feels very incomplete, and then I don't really understand or agree with a lot of the sort of... I don't know how to feel about this. A lot of it was just weird. Bringing up this whole irony circle, meta-irony was weird. And then it just seems like every time iDubbbz had a point about something, Sam's point about it in the footage, or, you know, making fun of people who don't understand jokes, calling them autistic, it was kind of like... It was like a more reasonable, sensible answer. Like, you hear them say that and you agree with it, like, immediately. You, like, understand where he's coming from or what his context is. You know, and he doesn't even really say that much. He says a few lines and you get it, but then iDubbbz has to go into these extremes to explain and elaborate why he's wrong, and it's just like... I don't know, maybe you're wrong then? Social politics crap, but very surface level tame. The footage kind of proving the opposite, that he is funny and that you do get when he's joking. So the whole, it's a bit of a cluster. Fuck this video. It is just so all over the place. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just rushed. It was a good video though, I'll say that, it's good. So thanks for watching. Go check out the original video. Maybe give me your opinions on what you thought if you've seen it. Love to know. It's very... I imagine people are very much either on iDubbbz's side or on Sam Hyde's side. So, yeah, give me your opinions. Go watch the full video for more context. And buy his merch. And subscribe to the channel and like the video. This is my first video. I'll hopefully try and make more. Alright, thank you, and peace.